when I pull up, I clear the block out. Keep me a shorty, he'll break a jaw, call him knockout. Thought he a cheater, but ain't a thing that I don't know.
All right, episode 11.
What's
Edwin.
up, babe?
So we had a little situation last week with our episode 10.
Yeah, splotchy.
Yeah,
Chopped
so
up.
first episode that got copyrighted by apparently the UFC, whatever algorithm they're using to pick up on whatever we're talking about. So about 20 minutes of the whole video got cut off, including the Thompson fight, basically the last 3 fights of that UFC Fight Night in Orlando, which was awesome. The fights, not the fact that they got cut off. And also we talked about James Krause and that whole situation, all of that
federal investigation. Yep, all that. They chopped our episode up like a salad.
So, I mean, that whole card was awesome. You know, we had the Thompson versus Holland fights. I guess we won't go into depth about it. I mean, it's already been passed, or in depth about it. It's already been passed. And today we'll go ahead and talk about the fights from last night.
Yes, UFC 282. Such a chaotic ending to a great night.
It was a great night. It had like 10 fights in a row that were awesome. You know, like it was living up to the hype. And then at the end, I ended up feeling robbed of not being able to watch the rematch, the Teixeira versus Prochazka fight that was originally supposed to headline that card, which probably would have made up for the co-main and main event this time around.
Yeah, there were a few fight cancellations overall. Like, was it Oben St. Peru got taken out entirely because Gustafsson pulled out and they couldn't find an adequate opponent in time.
And Robbie Lawler.
Yep. And Alex Morono stepped in on a 5-day notice.
Almost won that fight.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, and then the main event got scrapped entirely, and then the co-main became the main. Yeah, it was chaotic.
Yeah, chaotic. And then the judging, we didn't have to rely on the judges too much for the whole night until we did. And then when we did, we found out, oh, right, this fight is in Vegas with Sal D'Amato and all these people. I don't even know how he scored it, to be honest, but I know that somebody fucked up the judging for those last 2 fights. We'll get into that and see if we agree on that.
Yeah, they really like bummed you out at the end of the night. Like the whole card was good. Then co-main event, you were shocked at the decision. Main event, shocked even more.
Yeah.
And it was just like, really? This is it? Well, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Glad I went to the bar for this.
I'm glad I streamed that. Though I would think that whoever or the person that took the most of the hype, you know, for the whole fight night was Raul Rosas Jr.
Yeah, overall, he came
prodigy. He came out, he showed out, 1 minute sub, right? I didn't want to get into him first, but I do think that he's the
shining, like the whole thing. Like the spotlight's on him after last night.
And he got a bonus.
Sure. Oh, yeah, everybody Dana was in a good mood. Everybody got a bonus yesterday.
Honestly, that should happen. If you finish the fight, you should just get a bonus.
Or at least like because you get your win bonus. Yeah. A little extra. Why not? They already have shitty pay, so whatever.
Entice them to not rely on the judges because...
Yeah, at this point, you really don't want to because what we've seen, bad judging, even different criteria. It's switched up from back in my day, you know? And what is it? Yeah, and then judging can really affect a fighter's career.
Yeah, I don't know what sketchy stuff is going on there. That's some boxing stuff, man. Whatever that... Yeah, the casinos, like all that.
Mm-hmm.
Background stuff is definitely it's going to affect the sport further if they don't entice fighters to finish the fights. So I think bonuses would help out with that. I didn't know until yesterday that judges have nothing to do with like UFC as a organization.
Oh, no. The UFC doesn't pick them. It's the State Athletic Commission.
Yeah. And what state of Nevada? So, you know, there's obviously something up there. It's been going on with boxing forever, and now you got it in the UFC more often than not. But let's go into that main event. So Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight title.
The vacant belt. We thought we were gonna end up with a new champion by today, but still no champion.
It makes it all murky.
Yep.
Because now it's going to happen. Prochazka's injured, couldn't fight. Glover.
Oh, I have an answer for that.
Okay.
Okay, so ideally, so the end result of this fight, it was ruled a split draw. One judge gave it to Jan, the other gave it to Magomed, and then the other judge ruled it a tie. So it's a draw, no winner. And then, ideally in this situation, you would make a rematch, perhaps, to really get a winner out of the two in another state.
I don't know if there's much
And
appetite for that.
there isn't. And that's why, in the post-fight press conference, Dana White, they asked him, like, well, what's next? So, just to have a quick turnaround and have a champion in this division, next month in Brazil, they're going to do Glover Teixeira against Jamal Hill.
Oh, I did. You're right. Dana did say that at the end, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool, I guess. So this Jan Blachowicz versus Ankalaev fight felt like absolutely, pointless.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a draw. Which, by the way, Jan Blachowicz is a G for, pretty much admitting that he lost that fight because
yeah.
Let's look at the stats. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ankalaev gets total strikes. Okay, for Ankalaev, 191 strikes landed out of 312. On the other hand, you got Jan, 79 strikes landed out of 141. So he threw half as many strikes as Ankalaev and, got hit way more.
Yeah.
Significant strikes, 78 Ankalaev, 55 Blachowicz. Now this one.
Takedowns.
Control time.
Yeah.
11 minutes and 20 seconds for Ankalaev, 0 for Blachowicz. 2 takedowns to 0.
And I was going to say, does control time even matter anymore after this pay-per-view? Clearly it doesn't.
It hasn't mattered ever since they changed the rules, like you mentioned earlier, to it being more about damage, even though the word that they use isn't damage. It's
damage.
It's damage, yeah. It's damage.
Let's be real. Yeah, they don't care if they don't care if a wrestler clinches you against the fence or holds you on the ground and you can't get up and there's no action. They mostly care if when that situation takes place, they care if you get hit or elbowed. That's when it matters to them. If you're getting beaten up on the ground or standing in a clinch, not held down. So.
Yeah, and from so from a wrestling perspective, that sucks because you have the control time, having that, being on top, being that
that's
dominant.
Literally winning.
Yeah, you're winning, right?
Yeah, the other guy. If the other guy can't get up or get out of that position, that's on him.
And from a jiu-jitsu perspective, they're not counting like, oh, he attempted to like get this leg lock or went under, got an underhook. He's trying to go for a Kimura. He's trying to go for whatever submission. Yeah. That doesn't count. It's like you have to finish by submission for it to matter. So that kind of sucks for.
It murkies it up, yeah.
But yeah, so that was a disaster because I think it's obvious Ankalaev won. Even Blachowicz at the end of his post-fight press conference admitted it and then said, just give Ankalaev the belt. That was so shitty because a draw, especially a draw for a title fight. Yeah.
I mean, to me, the fight was at a draw going into the fifth. I was scoring it. I had rounds 1 and 4 for Ankalaev and rounds 2 and 3 for Jan Blachowicz. So, winner of the fifth round would take it. And to me, that was clearly Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah, I agree.
He was really compromised, wasn't he? At the end of like rounds 3 and 4, when Jan just chopped up his legs with
his leg
kicks. Both of them. He chopped up both legs. I bet he's in a wheelchair today.
Probably, and without a title, it would have been worth it otherwise.
Yeah,
it sucks. Neither of them get a win bonus. I mean, like they both stepped in last. They have to have some under the money table for stepping in last minute, but who knows?
Yeah, neither man was ready for a 5-round fight. They only trained for a 3-rounder. They only had like a week to get even more prepared, which that's not enough because at that point you're just cutting weight.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yes, I mean, but still, I feel a little better though that Glover is getting a title fight because he is the former champion. But against Jamal Hill, I mean, Jamal's been on a tear. His last like 3 or 4 fights, he's finished them all by knockout. So that's a decent contender. I think he's like ranked number 7, but ideally you'd want like a top 5 guy or something.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think that's pretty solid. I mean, who else would get a title fight right now? Or, like Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev just fought. I don't remember what Rakic's last fight was like, but
I don't even know if Rakic can compete because his whole leg is just his
Oh,
knees.
that's
His knee
right.
turned to mush. Remember?
You're right. And the only other person above Jamal Hill is Anthony Smith. So I think that's pretty solid. Jamal
Anthony
Hill.
Smith, Jamal Hill. Yeah, he'd be the next one. Yeah, that actually follows looking at the rankings. But yeah, so we have that to look forward to next month.
Yeah. Is that going to be in Brazil? He said
Brazil.
they're trying to do a Brazil card, right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, yeah. So shitty judging for that first fight or for that main event card or main event fight, and shitty that it turned out to be a draw. I don't really have much else to add about that. It was a decent fight. It wasn't even that exciting, No, it was okay.
I mean, what Jan Blachowicz was, clearly the stronger guy, but slower. Ankalaev was a lot faster and more precise. It was just, it was a slowish kind of fight.
Yeah, Blachowicz's power was there. Yeah, you could see, especially with those leg kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The control time, though, with Ankalaev was a little surprising. But so the bad judging didn't, that wasn't the first time that we had seen it this night or that night because the fight before.
Yep, the co-main event.
Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddie versus Gordon. Okay. Mm-hmm. So going into this fight, I think we both picked Paddy.
Yeah.
And then leading up to the fight, when I was watching some other stuff, I saw Jared Gordon and some more highlights and like him training and his whole background, about being a former addict, being homeless. Like he went through it, right? Like, so he went through it, and he has some power, has good striking. And Paddy, on the other hand, didn't look like he had that level of striking or had been hit that hard before, as hard as he would against Gordon.
He got rocked in this fight, man.
Oh yeah, I started to change my mind before the fight started, and then as the fight was going, we saw Jared Gordon lighting him up quite a bit. How did you have it scored? Because it was pretty close.
It was I gave Jared Gordon round 1. I gave Paddy round 2. Round 3 is where it gets murky again. Because that whole round, Jared had the control time. He had Paddy against the fence, standing, but he didn't do anything. And Paddy was hitting him with knees and elbows. So, I mean, Paddy outstruck him in round 3, but he was against the fence the whole time. UFC fights back in the day, Jared Gordon would have won that fight. But with the new criteria and new judging and all this other stuff going on, Paddy won that round.
Yeah, it's just hard. I think I had it round 1 for Gordon.
He rocked Paddy hard in that round.
Round 2 for Paddy, and then I thought round 3 was hard. So if if it was 2-1,
yeah.
But what was the scorecards? They were
scorecards. Okay, here I have the previous one.
29-28 all around.
Yep.
For Paddy.
29-20. Yeah, it was unanimous decision.
This is the part that gets me.
Yeah.
Two of the judges had round 1 for Paddy. That's
1 and 2 for Paddy. But yeah, he got rocked in that round. He got hit with the left hook.
Yeah.
And then one judge gave him rounds 2 and 3. The other 2 gave him
So we had.
It's all over the place.
Doug Crosby and Ron McCarthy gave rounds 1 and 2 to Paddy. 2 makes sense. 1 makes 0 sense. 0 cents. I could see 1 and 3 for Paddy, but I had it 1 and 3 for Gordon. With the new judging, I could see how 3 could go to Paddy, but round 1 going to Paddy just seems like a robbery. And I know that is thrown around a lot, but that felt like a robbery. I think even Joe Rogan looked really confused with that. Oh yeah,
score. Joe was confused when they read it out loud. He was like, "What?"
He was also confused when Paddy said, "Are you going to pay me for this interview?" I don't think he's going on with that whole Ariel Helwani situation.
Yeah, that whole thing. How was it? The whole background was Ariel wanted Paddy to go on his show, but then Paddy said he didn't, and Ariel pulls out like a recording.
All the receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing was hilarious. If you
That's
don't
funny.
know, check it out. There's a whole rant. Ariel takes like an hour going into the whole story, and
Of
it's
course
it's
you do.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patty definitely didn't win round one, so that Chris Lee actually had it the right way, I think. Except, in my opinion, third round should have gotten Jared Gordon, but
It should have, but that new criteria. What are you gonna do? That's how they're judging fights. It was apparent too with the Piotr Yan and Sean O'Malley fight.
yeah, yeah. And watching that one back, it made a little bit more sense if you take that into account. But this first round for Patty makes zero sense to
It's
me.
gonna take a while for me to get used to this.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that 100%. I see it in some ways, but whatever.
Whatever.
Um, so Patty and Gordon, Patty gets the win. What I don't know what's next for Patty. Do you think?
Now another maybe the number 15 he could take on. I don't know. Let's see who's in the 15 here. Let's see. Oh, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor. Yeah, no. These guys are still too big for him in that division.
Lightweight.
Yeah.
What division is he fighting? I thought he was.
Now Patty's a lightweight, man.
Oh man,
Yeah, 15 is Tony Ferguson, 14 is Conor McGregor. He's
you
not
know,
getting in those fights.
you
Oh,
know
I
what would
know who
be
would be.
epic?
I'm thinking Terrence McKinney.
Terrence McKinney will eat him alive, dude.
Hey, but he's not ranked. Or how about our old boy Lando Benata?
Oh, you
That'd
know
be a
what?
fun one. Huh?
When you said McKinney, I was thinking about Jalen Turner.
Okay.
So maybe, yeah, I can see McKinney. Who was the other one you said?
Old boy Lando Benata, if he's still
Lando
fighting, I don't
Venata.
even.
Yeah, yeah, that could work.
Just somebody outside of the rankings.
I would love to see him fight Connor. That would be cool.
Not yet. No.
Connor versus Patty.
Maybe in like 5 years, but not yet. Not
Make
yet. Patty's
make
still very
that in
green. Yeah. I
somewhere in
mean,
the UK
Jared
or
Gordon gave him
Ireland.
trouble. He still needs somebody else. Make
He
him fight
did give him
Clay.
trouble.
Make him fight Clay Guida. Why not?
I don't think they'll
No.
they'll do that to Clay right now. He did.
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
ideally I want to see him fight like Terrence McKinney.
I could see that could make
Or
some.
the other guy on the card that was kind of mad dogging him was Ilya Taporia, but that fight
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. People would be like, "Oh yeah, they're yelling at each other, make them fight," but that's a different weight class.
yeah, they don't.
No,
And Taporia
and
looked great. So stick with
we'll
your
get to
division,
that there. Yeah, stick in your division, dude.
and yeah, keep climbing the rank because he looks good. So yeah, we'll
He's
talk about
good
him.
in a second. Yeah.
Um, well, yeah, I guess that does. They should do something for Gordon. I think since in a lot of people's eyes he won the fight, he should get another opportunity to break into that top 15.
Yeah. Let's see. It's hard to break into that. Some savages in that
Yeah, it's the
division.
best division. All right, well, let's go into the next fight. So we had Santiago Ponzinibbio versus
Yep.
Alex Morono. Morono obviously got the late notice about what was it, like
5
a
days
week,
notice. Yeah.
5 days. Ponzinibbio was getting rocked by Morono though. Morono had some good stand up, some good striking. I think overall Ponzinibbio landed more striking,
Yeah.
but he ended up getting the TKO at the end when it seemed like he might be on his way out
Oh
of
yeah,
that fight.
he was losing both rounds. I just had them both scored for Morono, and his fighting style is weird. He was just bouncing on his feet the whole damn fight.
Yeah, he's got some good Muay Thai.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
He's
chill
a lot
out
more
for a
agile
minute.
than he looks.
Yeah, he doesn't look agile. He looks kind of doughy, not to be
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, no, I thought it would have been embarrassing for Ponzinibbio to lose this fight.
He does look kind of dull. He looks like I look when I'm fighting.
Man.
but he looked good though. Like he was about to win that fight if he
Yeah.
didn't get stopped by Ponzinibbio there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Santiago won. I did want him to win. I wanted him to win against Robbie Lawler too. So it was good to see him. He didn't look that great though.
No.
Like I don't think he's gonna.
I think what's hurt Ponzinibbio more was didn't he have like a year or 2 year long layoff because of injuries?
Yeah,
I think
he
that
had
really
injuries.
hindered him on his return. He hasn't been the same since.
And he's been
He's been finished since then. He lost to the Leech. Yeah, and he's won a couple other little fights here and there, but yeah, no.
Yeah. You want to go on to the next one?
Yep.
We had Darren Till versus Dricus du Plessis. This was a good fight.
That was got fight of the night.
So the part that surprised me was that du Plessis took it to the ground.
I wasn't surprised.
You thought he was going to take it to the ground?
He's got what is it, like 9 finishes on the ground or something like that by submission and a few knockouts. He's a finisher for sure, but I figured he would have ground advantage over Darren Till, who has like no ground game whatsoever.
That's true. I don't know. I guess most of his more recent finishes have been like knockouts.
Yeah.
So I thought he would try to just like stand up with Till.
Mm-hmm. This is a fun fight.
Yeah, Till toughed it out.
It looked pretty bad in the first round. It was pretty bad.
He got tired. They both got really tired.
Yeah. So first round, Dricus took him down and just punched him in the face. The ref was so close to stopping it so many times, but Darren got out. The round ended. Then it looked like Dricus got tired in the second round. Till landed some really good strikes, some really good elbows, and then round 3, Dricus took him back down to the ground and choked him. Yeah,
some type of neck crank.
Yep.
Du Plessis didn't look like he was completely beating down on Till, but in that first round, and I think he blew his load, like he or whatever it's called, but like he got really fucking tired.
Yeah. Emptied the gas tank, Abe.
Yeah. He emptied the gas tank. He looked really tired. Let me see how much did.
What are the stats?
He had 5:33 a control time. I'm not sure what round that was in, or like if that was. That was in total. So I'm not sure how much of that was the first round. Yeah, that is overall, but I'm not sure how much of that was in the first round. But he looked like he was going to finish Till right there, and then Till comes back second round, and it looked like du Plessis was so tired.
Yep.
They both looked really tired at some point though in that second round. I was actually surprised that they both looked as out of shape as they did. I guess they went hard in that first.
Yeah, they went hard. Yeah, and taking down a big guy like Darren Till, that's not easy. That's true. After 282, Dricus is going to be in the top 10 for sure. He's going to take Darren Till's spot. So Darren's going to drop down. And now, what's next? Dricus could fight. Let's see. He could fight. Who's ahead of him? Jack the Joker. That'd be a fun little grappling fight.
That would work.
Derek Brunson hasn't had a fight in a minute.
Dolidze
would be fun. Yeah, any of those fights would be kind of fun for him. I don't know if he could take on like Marvin Vettori or Paulo Costa just yet.
I would wait on a bigger one like that. And
who knows if Paulo Costa will even be in the UFC by then.
Yeah, he's talking about leaving, right? Or that his contract's coming up finally or whatever.
Yeah, like this would be his last fight. His upcoming fight with Robert Whittaker, and supposedly he hasn't signed it. You know how Paulo gets. He has a bottle of wine and he gets all on Twitter and tipsy. Who knows? That guy, whatever.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with them. It sucks for Till.
Yeah.
What is that now for Till? What's his record looking like?
He's lost his last 3 fights or 4.
I think you're right about it. Let's see. Yeah, he's lost his last 3. Lost to Whittaker, Brunson, now du Plessis, and then after having beat Gastelum, he had lost to Masvidal. So 4 of his last 5 fights have been lost by. I was gonna say he got finished in all of them, but the Whittaker one was a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows also when Darren will be back, because it looks like he did blow out his ACL in that fight, supposedly. So it's going to be a while before we see him again.
Yeah, kind of disappointing. He was,
Oh, yeah, he was shining bright for a minute.
Well, so submission in round 3 for du Plessis in that one. Yep. And then the first fight on that main card
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
we had Bryce Mitchell versus Topuria, Ilya Topuria.
Ilya. It's a cool
So
name.
we all thought that if Bryce Mitchell won this fight, it was going to be on the ground.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
You couldn't
We
even
got
take him down.
Yeah, Topuria looked strong. His stand-up looked way ahead of
Oh
Mitchell's.
yeah. What was it? The straight shots that really hurt Bryce, and then of course, Bryce is gonna try to take him down. He couldn't the whole fight, so he just got mauled.
I think he did have one takedown.
Yeah.
But he attempted like 10.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get anyone except for one of them.
And then the craziest thing is that Ilya ended up submitting him.
Yeah, arm triangle.
Yep.
And sick one too after beating him up.
Mm-hmm. He ragdolled him on the ground, which was surprising. Well, by then he was beat up and bleeding, but
he looked like he hadn't been hit like that before.
Yeah,
and
he's like, oh.
Yeah, he looked maybe scared or just like almost giving up. Like he got really beat up basically.
Mm-hmm.
Topuria looked really good. I don't even know if I can emphasize enough. Like he looked really, really good.
But yeah, so now Ilya will be in the top 10 because Bryce was 9. Then Bryce will drop a bit. So what's next for these guys?
Well, for Topuria, he could fight, I don't know, Giga Chikadze.
Yeah, I'd
Calvin
like to see him fight like Calvin Kattar. That'd be a fun fight.
That'd be fun. Or what was Arnold Allen's last win? That might be a little too high for now, but
no, that's a little bit too up there. Arnold Allen's like number 4.
That could be. I'll stick with either Chikadze or Kattar.
I feel like Calvin Kattar. That'd be a fun fight, or maybe against like number.
Gosh,
11.
Emmett.
No, Emmett's got the title fight coming up
right.
against Yair.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, anybody in those ranked for him. Bryce would have to fight he already fought Edson Barboza. Dan Ige would be a fun one, or Sadiq Youssef. Any of those would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Youssef versus Mitchell would be cool. I'd
be down to watch that. But
there's a lot of fights that could get made with this.
Yeah, scramble a bit. Okay.
But promising, so that's exciting. Another division that has just a ton of talent. Bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight are.
Yeah, and the next fight in the bantamweights, the featured bout of the prelims, we had Raul Rosas
Junior.
Yeah, Junior against Jay Perrin.
Yeah, Jay Perrin. Awesome fight for Rosas Jr. Quick, gets a submission in the first round.
Yep.
Looked strong, picked him up, slammed him, had 2 takedowns during the fight. Just dominated, really.
Yeah, he looked really good.
He looked great. He, that was a question going in. So yeah, he gets a contract off of the Dana White's Contender Series.
Yep.
Age 17, youngest fighter in UFC history to get a contract. Had to get parent permission to let him, in the UFC and to fight. Kid's still in high school. I mean, imagine you win your first fight in a UFC
go back
event.
in the math class the next day or something.
Yeah, and you're just I just fought yesterday, and I'm probably gonna fight next week or next month because he has to fight next week again or in the January card. I don't know if they'll do that for him, but
quick turnaround because he's they could see it, but I'm sure it'll be like 2 or 3 months before he fights again.
I love that they let him come out with the sombrero.
Yeah, I was surprised by that because I was like, that doesn't have a Venom brand on it because Reebok would not allow that.
Yeah, and they haven't allowed anybody to come out with anything, not a flag, not anything, and that had a flag on it.
Flags are starting to come back slowly. I see people in the crowd have them now.
The fans do; they stick them in, but the fighters aren't allowed to have them off the cage anymore, or when they walk out.
Okay.
And he had one on.
He came out with a sombrero. He wore it even during the Octagon interview, and now his mom's getting a minivan.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's great for him. Because I did see him on all of the Fight Hype stuff. He had gotten a house for his family. He had, I think the back tattoo was new, so and then now he gets a bonus on top of the show money, and he's going to be on the new video game or on the video game. not the new one, but the current
Yeah,
UFC 4 one.
they're gonna add him onto it. So that's the bantamweight division. Do you think he's ready for 15 or not yet? 'Cause I don't know any of the bantamweights like that.
Well,
No,
one
this
thing I
is
heard
yeah. What'd you hear?
from him though, right? So from him when he
Oh,
got interviewed, is that he has grappled with Aljamain, and all he said was, it was kind of cryptic, but he was like, Aljamain knows how that went down, and that's why like he wouldn't fight me. So also he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to get attention, but
and by the time that Rosas gets to like title contention, Aljamain probably won't even be in the division anymore. He'll probably go up by then.
yeah. Um, I don't know if I think they should build him slowly. He's only 18. Like
Yeah,
he looked
yeah. You have
great.
to build him still. Yeah.
Not too slow, but I don't think top 15 should be
Not
there
yet.
yet.
No, I'd say build him up. Take time. Give him, yeah. Give him
Kind of like
some
you did
other.
O'Malley. They did pretty good
Yeah,
with O'Malley.
yeah. I
Now
think they should give
O'Malley's
him that
number one.
treatment. Yeah, I think they should do something similar with Raul.
Yeah, because even looking at this top 15, it's like a big. Okay, so you got Said Nurmagomedov, you got
Nope.
Adrian Yanez, Chris
Hell,
Gutierrez,
Giannis would
Umar,
hurt this kid.
Umar
Umar
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov. No,
Like, no, not yet.
be fun, but no, you don't want to see this kid get. He's only 17, Abe. Come on,
22 years old, 22-year-old champion, maybe.
maybe, but it's still years. Yeah.
Yeah, a few years.
So, yeah, we'll see what they do with him.
All right. So the next fight was Jairzinho Rosenstruck versus Chris Daukaus.
Yep.
Heavyweight fight. Impressive. I think Jairzinho, he looked really impressive. Got the knockout finish very early in the first, just in the first round. Early in the
still
fight.
in the first. Yep. He hurt him. He hurt Dawkins bad with a couple jabs.
Yeah, just came at him, man, like full speed.
Yeah, he just went straight forward. He showed why he was why he has such a really good kickboxing record. People forget that. He doesn't look like a kickboxing athlete, but he really is. And Dawkins is a former police officer, doesn't have that kind of training.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no surprise that happened. I figured this would happen this way, but the thing is, Jairzinho can do that with a guy like Chris Daukaus, but he can't do that with anybody ranked higher than him. He has trouble.
He does. I mean, the way that he finished Daukaus reminded me of the way that he got finished by Ngannou.
Yep, Ngannou, and what he had a snooze fest with Cyril Gane. Yeah.
Yeah. He lost to Volkov.
Yep, he got outstruck by Volkov, I believe. I don't remember that, but I believe that.
But he looked great in this fight against Daukaus. Daukaus is on a 3-fight losing streak now. He lost to Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, and now Rosenstruck. So
he's fighting savages.
That's true. Yeah, this heavyweight division,
Yeah, once you get past the top 10, it's like anything can happen. But yeah, for Jairzinho, I don't know. I don't know if he should fight like Derek Lewis next, if he wanted to. I don't know if they have fought yet or not.
Yeah, but like you said, it's
not good for him. And I mean, otherwise he could be a placeholder. He could take on maybe Marcin Tybura or maybe Sergey Spivak, somebody, I don't know.
That might be what happens. He might end up stay in that 9th spot, maybe go up to 8 or something.
Yeah.
But I think those first few places in the top 10 are where he'll float around for a bit.
Yeah. I agree.
So nothing much else there.
Yeah, good for him.
Shabazian.
Yeah, Shabazian. Golden boy.
He ends up getting his knockout in the second round, which is good for him because I think, was this the fight that you said it might be a loser leaves town match?
Yeah, I think, yeah. What's his opponent? What's his name? Dalcha? Yeah, I think he's going to get the boot.
Yeah, 4 fights in a row now. Got finished in his last 3.
Yep. Not a good look.
Yeah, especially, Shabazian hasn't looked great either.
Yeah, and apparently he changed camps. Now he lives in Vegas. So I guess that change it showed itself. His striking was really good. Yeah,
Definitely has improved, especially
Yeah.
his takedown defense looked a lot better. That's
Yep.
a place where he was struggling with a lot,
Lacking. Yeah.
aside from his head movement being crap, because everybody from the Rousey camp like
They
has
have
head
none.
movement.
Yeah.
But now he's at Extreme Couture,
Yep.
so it showed. It showed.
Yeah.
So
Clearly.
he was a guy that had a lot of promise a long time ago,
Yeah.
and then was seemed to be on the decline. So now, hopefully for him, he's back up. Um, and then before that, we had Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. A
Yeah.
fight that I was excited for. It did end up delivering.
Yeah. It actually did. Chris Curtis actually knocked out Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, what round was it? It was the second round.
Second round. Yeah. Was it? I remember it. Buckley threw a kick and looked like Curtis kind of like caught it with his back and just came back with a straight punch and just put him down.
Yeah, man, they came after each other. Sucks for Buckley, so now he's two in a row, two losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
After having some a good highlight reel.
Oh yeah, he's got that knockout of the year contender, the spinning kick, but that, like we said, he's fizzled out from that. So yeah, and he's losing to other guys now. So who knows?
Yeah, that could happen there. These guys are welterweights, right?
Who? No, they're middleweights.
Middleweights.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the other fight was also at middleweight. Why not make Edmund fight Chris Curtis? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that could work
Yeah.
for sure. What about Buckley? There's somebody that I think the UFC wants to keep him around for. I
He's
don't.
got
Yeah,
like, if he's fighting how he's going, he's got to get a win. You don't want him to be, 3 or 4 losses in a row for sure. So, yeah, I'll have another fight here soon. I don't know against who, because there's a lot of names out there. It's hard to keep track of anybody that's not ranked.
yeah. Chris Curtis could also fight like Duplessis or Imavov.
No way. Is Chris Curtis ranked?
He's ranked number 15,
Oh,
and now
yeah,
with
that'd be
this win,
perfect for Shabazian.
that would be. Oh, that's a break into.
Yeah, to break into that then, because Drickus is going to take Darren's spot. He's going to be 10.
I think
So-
Curtis. I think Curtis beats Shabazian though.
We'll see. We'll see. We got a new camp for Shabazian, but yeah, that's something that could be made off of that.
Yeah, true that.
Sucks for Joaquin.
But aside from that, we had early prelim fights too. I don't remember much about them.
I only saw the last early prelim of Billy Quarantillo and Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah, another loss for Hernandez,
your,
man.
Your boy. I remember you were so hyped on him.
He seemed to have a lot of promise, man.
Even in this fight, he looked like it too. Because what is it? He's gone to featherweight for this fight. Former lightweight, so he looked big for the division. He looked big and strong, but yeah, he totally dominated Billy Quarantillo in the first round. But Billy rallied and with a comeback in the second and finished him.
Yeah,
Like Hernandez looked tired. He looked broken.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
For sure, he looked broken. Like you said, he was exhausted.
Yeah,
for sure. And Quarantillo showed that grit.
He just started chipping away, and he just broke him.
Yeah, and that sucks for Hernandez, but his losses are against some pretty good names.
Yeah,
but that's still quite a few losses now in his last few fights. But before I was hyped on him. You're right before, because at his first fight that he won coming into the UFC was against Beneil Dariush.
And that's a big name now.
Yeah, big. Yeah, and then also at that time, Olivier, what's his name? The Canadian guy.
Oh yeah, the French guy, the French Canadian guy.
Yeah, he beat him too.
Yeah.
So he looked like he was on the come up, but then he lost against Cerrone, and then from then on he's been like win loss, and now he's lost his last two, knockout this time around. And when he loses, it doesn't look pretty. He's got a couple knockouts.
He's been finished, but yeah, we'll see.
Got knocked out by Cerrone, got knocked out by Drew Dober, got submitted by Moicano, and now he gets knocked out by Billy.
I could see Billy Quarantillo try to get into the top 15 also, but he's not ranked either.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
I'd like to see him fight maybe Edson or Dan Ige.
Dan Ige, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The other two fights on the prelim ended with
I didn't watch.
finishes, but I didn't watch them either.
I didn't watch those either.
Brown beat Silva by submission in round 3 by an arm triangle, and Simon beat Kozlo by knockout.
Yeah, out of nowhere, South Africa is just starting to produce fighters now.
Yeah, they got some good people. Duplessis, who also fought, is from South Africa. So cool, exciting stuff. We had some more fights going on outside of the UFC. I did not watch Bellator or boxing, but I know
Bellator was on. I didn't even.
I think there was Bellator going on Friday.
Okay, I didn't. Sure.
Whatever, I guess. But we had Crawford fight, and we also had a Teofimo fight. So I know you watched both of them.
Yeah.
Want to go over a little bit? Let's go over the Crawford fight first.
Okay, Crawford. He defended his belt against that's his name. I forget the name. Let me see here. David Avanasian. Yeah, he fight ends in round 6 knockout. He flattened David out, which this fight, it's not the ideal fight that you wanted to happen, but David's a former European welterweight champion, so that's cool. He's he got the European version of Crawford's title, but yeah, this was a strange fight because it was also on a network I've never even heard of. It was it Blick Prime or something like that? It wasn't even on ESPN or anything, or DAZN. This was a weird fight to find, but yeah, no, Crawford knocked him out in round 6. So the way the fight went, the early rounds, it's kind of slow for Crawford because he's downloading the information. So David got a few good shots in, but by round 4, Crawford had his reads. The money shot for Crawford was uppercut. Just the tuck, uppercut, and at the end, that just wore him down. At the end, he just popped him with the uppercut and a hook, flattened him out cold.
Yeah, this fight flew under my radar, probably partly because of what you mentioned, it being in a weird spot. But I think most of it just being out of spite that he wasn't fighting Errol Spence Jr.
Supposedly, talks are going to resume in the next few weeks, so who knows?
I don't know, man. I think you're right about Spence being scared. Yeah,
and especially with the news out there now that the WBC has authorized Errol Spence to defend his belt against Keith Thurman.
Okay,
so
I know
maybe
about
that. Keith Thurman might take the place, and eventually maybe they'll fight. I don't know. That's a weird situation, but ideally, of course, you want the super fight, and you don't want to
unify all the belts.
Yeah, undisputed welterweight title. That'd be fun. I'd go to Vegas for that fight.
Hell yeah, that would be an awesome fight. That'd
be an awesome fight to go to.
2 guys on their prime. Like, I hope they don't wait too long.
Too late, or maybe somebody leaves a division or something. But yeah, the fans of the diehard boxing fans want that fight. And sure. I don't know who's next for Crawford. This is weird also because Crawford, this is his first fight of the year after almost even being out for a whole year. Everybody ducks him. He's not a big name, but everybody that knows boxing knows him. So yeah, I'd hate for him to sit on the sideline for another year.
Yeah, same here, man. It sucks. But I mean, it's cool that he got the win. It just kind of reminds me of like the Tyson Fury fight from last week, where it's like we all kind of knew that was gonna happen.
But you want to see him fight too, otherwise,
you want to see him fight, but you want to see him fight somebody that's at his level, that's gonna give him a challenge, that's gonna make it exciting. Like, yeah. So whatever. Hopefully it happens. But knowing boxing, it might not.
Yeah. So it's 50-50.
For sure. What about Teofimo Lopez?
Teofimo, he struggled. Okay, so Teofimo Lopez fighting at junior welterweight now against Sandor Martin, Spaniard. And dude, Teofimo did not look good in this fight. He struggled. He got knocked down twice.
What do you think's going on?
I think it's the weight increase.
Junior middleweight was this? Yeah, this fight was at
140. But I mean, ideally this would be better for Teofimo. But maybe it's how Sandor fought him or such. But Teofimo only had mild success when he kind of blitzed forward, but Sandor kept timing him. That's why he was able to knock him down twice. Teofimo only had some success with attacking the body, because otherwise, Teofimo threw a punch, Sandor threw right back, but when he hit when Teofimo threw to the body, that actually had Sandor backing up. So it was a weird fight. It was very close. Teofimo got knocked down twice. It was only ruled by the ref for one knockdown. They were both the same exact punch. It was the check right hook. Sandor's a southpaw, and yeah, Teofimo's got some stuff to work on. Definitely, because the way he got knocked down was he was lunging forward with his lead hand down, so he just lunged forward and got clipped both times. Otherwise, technically now, because of the way, it was a close fight. It was a split decision
for
Teofimo.
Okay. Do you think he deserved the win? Got knocked down twice, you said?
He did. He got knocked down twice, but the ref only counted one. They counted the other one as a slip, but they replayed it, and it's like he got hit in the back of in the head. He got hit in the head by the ear. But yeah, now he's a mandatory title challenger for Josh Taylor sometime in the future. I think he's got some things to work on for sure. Otherwise, Taylor's just going to piece him up.
Yeah.
Because Taylor's a former undisputed champion.
At that junior welterweight?
Yeah, it's just like some politics, and they took one of the belts from him.
Yeah, I don't recognize the other two names, the WBA and WBC champions at that division.
Yeah, some politics happened, and they took his belts. You know how it is with commissions and boxing.
Yeah, too much going on.
And lawyers and paperwork. But yeah, no. So yeah, maybe Teofimo will fight him soon, but he's got some stuff to clean up for sure.
For sure. All right. Well, that's it for boxing, I think, right?
Yep.
All right.
We do have the Naya Inoue fight this week.
Oh, that's right. That's a middle of the week fight that you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Did that get cut off from last week's episode?
No, it didn't. But it's just one of those things. As a boxing fan, I'll watch it. I'll watch that.
Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. Only other thing that I think we were gonna go over was the fight night, right? So next week.
Yeah, the last fight night of the year.
December 17th, we got Cannonier versus Strickland.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be biased, man. Obviously Cannonier doesn't know me or anything like that, but I see him all the time at the lab. Sometimes he drops in and trains at our jiu-jitsu class, which I think is really cool.
That's cool.
He doesn't train with us, but he'll train, like he'll do the same thing, and he'll have his partner going through it. And so Cannonier is my guy for this one. I think he could beat Strickland.
There's gonna be like no grappling in this fight.
Probably not. Nope.
Both guys are heavy hitters. I'm gonna say I think Jared might have the power advantage. I don't know.
I think Jared has the power advantage for sure. I think Strickland is interesting. He looked terrible against Pereira, but you can't strike against.
That's like
Pereira.
Another level. That's like Pereira's like Michael Jordan of striking.
Yeah,
you can't punch with that guy.
No, and especially not if you're gonna come up like
tall.
Up, like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, no. So, it'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
It's not gonna go the distance. I don't think it will.
Me neither. I don't see Strickland finishing Cannonier though. I do see Cannonier, finishing Strickland again, especially Strickland. I don't know how long it's been, but it hasn't been that long since he got knocked out.
Yeah.
By Pereira. So, your chin deteriorates. And after getting knocked out, let's see, July. That wasn't too long ago, or too.
Yeah, July, and then was it his hand that got injured or something? Because I know this fight was scheduled for October.
I think he is the one that got hurt.
Okay.
Or something happened with him.
Yeah, there was a hand injury, I believe.
So that's another thing to think about. Maybe another reason. He is the favorite though, Strickland, -120, so not by a lot, but
that's not a lot, no.
But it is leaning towards him a little bit there.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing to maybe try to go back up into the rankings, especially since Jared did have a title fight recently against Adesanya.
Yeah, and had a great game plan. I mean, he didn't throw enough for my liking, but his game plan was, you could see what he was trying to do. and it could have worked. It almost worked, right? Doesn't have that Pereira level kickboxing where he can actually just stand there and go 1-on-1, stand up. But it'll be interesting to see their game plans with each other here. So I think Cannonier, like going up against the fence, doing some more clinch work.
I think maybe the winner of this fight will fight the winner of Whitaker and Costa. I think
that would make sense, and it would be cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just like looking at like where the rankings are and timeline wise, I think that's the case for this fight.
Yeah, I do hope Strickland doesn't come in the same way that he did against Pereira.
No, he's gonna get rocked.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they both come out.
Okay.
Game plan wise.
So we have Arman Sarukian. Who else do we have? Drew Dober. He's on the card.
Yeah, it's Sarukian versus Ismagulov. That's a good fight.
Said Nurmagomedov's on there. Who else?
Caceres? I didn't even know he still was fighting, dude.
Yeah, he's here and there.
Caceres versus Giuliani Rosa. Dober versus Bobby Green.
Drew Dober's gonna. I think Dober beats Bobby Green. I feel.
Yeah.
Bobby's old. Bobby's old.
Looked...
Yeah, he hasn't looked too sharp, but I think Drew Dober's grappling will give him the advantage in this fight.
I could see that. Hopefully a good fight though. Hopefully one where they're throwing a lot. Any other fights? Jake Matthews. I mean, he looked good last time around when he fought Andre Fiallo and pieced him up. It was surprising. Julian Marquez is fighting. Who else? Rafa Garcia. So I think a lot of low-key names that I think
these are low-key, nothing like it's literally to me like the only names that pop out are like Drew Dober, Arman Sarukian, Jared Cannonier really kind of pop out at me. Alex Caceres is kind of like
yeah,
nothing like
yeah. I mean, he's also a lab guy. Caceres.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't see much else going on. I think there's going to be a good card though. I do think that it's going to be fun, but low key. So last card of the year. Looking forward to next year though. We're starting off with a banger in Brazil. Two title fights now. The Moreno versus
Figueiredo 4,
which I'm glad is happening. Wait, when is that scheduled for?
I think it's like end of January.
Oh, they made Teixeira versus Hill official for that card.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like talked about.
No,
they made it official.
That's gonna we have 2 title fights there now.
Nice. That is awesome. Burns is on that card too. Yeah, we'll definitely have
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Burns versus Magny? That's kind of why would they I guess they want him to win, huh?
Who's that? Burns?
Yeah, Burns versus Magny.
Well, because Jorge wouldn't fight him.
I wouldn't either. But yeah, Andrade is on the card too. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we'll talk about that one next time around. Is that the first fight in January? No, there's a Gastelum versus Imavov fight too. Yeah,
Calvin Gastelum. I forgot about that guy.
No other fights on that card scheduled for yet.
Nothing yet? Okay.
Nothing official. It just says Calvin Gastelum versus Imavov, and then
And I did remember, wasn't the Colby fight supposed to take place this month? Colby and Hamzat? I remember that they kind of wanted it for December.
I don't remember if they had a date planned for it, but
yeah, but I know that they tried to make it happen, and I just realized, like, wait, that was yesterday.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but that fight's got to happen, and who knows where they'll make it. But...
Who knows what's going on there? They tried to ask Dana about that stuff. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's gonna worry about that after January 1st.
That should headline something anyway, so
yeah,
it's probably better. All right, well, we'll have a lot to talk about for the coming few months. There's a lot going on. Cool. Makhachev versus Volkanovski is not too far away either, so
that's gonna be a good one.
Waiting for a lot of stuff. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted again. Hopefully our videos can upload smoothly.
Fully.
Yeah, I didn't even bother posting another edited version of last week's, but we'll hopefully this one turns out well, and we'll talk about which fights next time. Which fights?
Cannonier and Strickland.
Cannonier, Strickland. All right,
next
dude.
one. Okay.
It's been fun, man.
All right.
See you next week.
Been on the odds, but this season been a shutout. Learn from the best, I can keep my money, I can show out. They ain't reach change, cause they know I keep the pole out. Went in the club like 20 deep, I keep the Glock out. Shorty a T, she running around with a top out. They ain't no ops when I pull up, I clear the block out.